Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. It is about a new concealer of mine which I bought only recently at Sephora, and it is the Magic Way Concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. It is already living in my makeup bag since 1 week and I have been dying to try it out, but I wanted to film my first reaction to it on camera, so that is why I waited so long and now I'm doing this video. And thank God I can finally use it. On Charlotte Tilbury's website I can see that they have 16 shades of this concealer, which is a really good shade range. I would say it goes from really light to really dark, and I am in the shade 2, which is quite fair, and I should probably go to shade 3 in the summer, but for now it is working. On the website you can also read all about the ingredients, and she's writing, for example, ideal if you want a full coverage liquid concealer to cover dark circles, blemishes and imperfections. That is exactly what I want. I want to cover my dark circles and imperfections underneath my eyes. I am struggling a little bit with dark circles and puffiness under my eyes, so I need all the help I can get. Even my husband told me recently that I have dark circles, so if he notices, that is not a good sign. So if you are interested in how this concealer applies and how it looks on the skin, then keep on watching. So when you open the concealer, it comes with this little sponge on the top, and you twist the liquid concealer up in the sponge, and then you can apply it directly under your eyes. It does remind me an awful lot of the Maybelline concealer, the Instant Anti-Aging Concealer. It's this one, and it's the same technique. You open it up, and then you have this little sponge, you twist it, and you can already see how much product I used here. It is being pushed up in that sponge, and you can apply it. It is a little bit crummy. You can see the product is just everywhere. The lid is really dirty and disgusting, but I really like the concealer, so I'm just gonna go with it. I already prepared my face for it. I already cleansed it, obviously, and put some moisturizer on top, and also I put my trusty BB cream from Bare Minerals on. I like to use very light foundations or BB cream to test new concealer, because otherwise I don't know where the coverage is coming from. So that's why I put the BB cream on, and also I put a little bit of eye makeup. I did already my brows, but other than that I don't have any powder, blush, contouring or anything on my face. So let's try it. I'm gonna push the product up and see when it's coming out. Obviously in the beginning you have to push quite a lot because it needs to go all the way up here. I forgot to take a mirror, so I'm quickly gonna go and get one. Alright you guys, I got a mirror and I brought you a little bit closer to my face so that you can see exactly what is going on. I already pushed the product out. You can see it, it's coming out. There we go. In between these tiny little hairs. And I'm gonna apply this now to my under eye area. I think I have to push a little bit more. There wasn't enough product coming out. Now that is better. I'm just gonna apply it in a triangle underneath my eyes, and I do think that this concealer is just good for underneath the eyes for me, because now maybe a little bit on the chin as well, but it's not really for spot concealing or anything like that. What I can see on the concealer right now, which is really disappointing, is that you heard me twisting it up quite a bit, and you can already see here that it's only filled up to here with the product. I hope you can see that. So it basically was resting just underneath here, and all of this is wasted space and just packaging. So I twisted it up from here to here, and that is the amount of product you're left with. I'm just gonna try to blend it in with my finger first, and then I'm gonna go over that and try to blend it a bit better with my beauty sponge. But I like to do it with my finger to just feel the consistency. It is quite tacky, but in a good way. Like, it is kind of, now I'm gonna take my sponge. It is like a bit of glue, but I mean, if that means that it wears for very long, it's all good. Okay, they blended out super nice. I think the color is quite pale, so maybe I made a mistake there. Maybe I should have gone straight to number 3. This is a very, very pale shade, but I really like the consistency. It's like, it is kind of stretchy, and it already dries down to a satin matte, which I'm not sure if I have to set that. It gives a really flawless finish, as you can see. And this one is already like 1 minute older, and you can see this is matter than this side. This is still a bit shiny, but it will dry down as well. I really, really like it. I mean, except the color, I think it's a little bit pale for me. It makes me look like a ghost. I'm gonna put a little bit of powder from my Hourglass palette, here the lightest one, but really only a very light dust on top of it to see how the texture is going to change. Oh, that really looks like skin, and it did such a good job covering my circles and also the redness I have on my cheeks as well. That's always one of my biggest concerns, that the redness can't shine through. That is so nice. And with the powder, actually the color is really good because the powder makes it a tiny bit darker. It also looks as if there's no creasing going on so far. I do have fine lines under my eyes. I mean, from laughing, eating, just moving the face, the product likes to settle down in these tiny little lines, and then after a few minutes I just have to go like this and just pat it out, and then it's fine. But this looks like it doesn't even do that in the first place, so it's really good. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my face makeup off camera, and then I'm gonna come back and give you my final thoughts. Alright, you guys, I finished my face, and I still really like how the concealer sits on my skin and how it looks overall in the makeup look. It really truly brightens up the under eye area, and it just really looks like skin, I would say. The color match, I think I'm gonna have a problem as soon as I get a little bit more tan, but at the moment it absolutely works. The only downside I have with this concealer at the moment is the amount of product you get, because I can already see that it's basically only half full. Now you can see it. So yeah, as I showed you earlier, all of this is just packaging and lost space, and I think I'm gonna go through this bottle quite quick, and for that price it is a little bit of a shame, but other than that I really love it. I did prepare a little comparison test between this concealer and the Tarte Shape Tip concealer, the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and also the Maybelline concealer, which is so similar from the application. I was just painting a few crosses on my arm here, which are already dry. I used my Kat Von D tattoo liner for this, which, by the way, I'm super impressed by this liner because I have it since probably way too long. It's probably expired and it's still not dried out. I'm not pretending that I'm using it a lot. I'm using it only maybe twice a month, but still it didn't dry out in at least 2 years, and I think, no wait, must be at least 3 years old now. I should probably put it aside and get a new one because of all the bacteria and germs, but I'm very impressed how well this tattoo liner is going strong after 3 years. Back to my test. I have all these 4 pores here, and I'm gonna change the camera angle now that you can see it very well, and then I'm gonna conceal over those and blend them a little bit out, but then we can see how well they will cover the cross. Starting off my test with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Concealer in the color 02. If you can see, it covers quite well, but it doesn't cover the cross completely. Next one is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the color 06. The coverage is very similar, the shade is very different, but in comparison, the Charlotte Tilbury concealer really brightens up the eyes because it's so pink. The Too Faced Born This Way concealer is super full coverage. I was very surprised to see that comparison with the Tarte Shape Tape, which you can see here. You can clearly see that the Tarte Shape Tape is not covering as well as the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Here I'm just pretending to blend the concealer out. As you can see, the first 2 concealer already set a little bit, so there's nothing really changing. And when I now try to blend the Too Faced concealer out, it is still very wet, so it hasn't set yet. I can still move it around, but the coverage still remains insanely high. And the Too Faced concealer also really set in place, but the coverage is slightly better than Charlotte Tilbury and Maybelline concealer. So that was it, my little review about the Charlotte Tilbury concealer. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. I hope that you're all having a great time and I will see you in my next video. Bye!